We're in the midst of a biker special. Now the letter R, it has a very special place in the automotive enthusiast dictionary. Whether it's cars or bikes, it works pretty much the same way. The vehicle in case on which the R is put becomes faster and racier. But does a comet need a R? Yes, we are talking about the very same comet that came to India 8 years ago. Now the entry-level sport bike segment is really booming. Bikers, more and more of them are looking out for bikes that are, well, not just commuting tools, something fun to ride around, and manufacturers are really delivering some really exciting bikes. So I guess it's just the right time for Hyosung to come back in with their Comet name, and this is the 250cc Comet R. The R signifies the Comet's sporty avatar. Instead of a street naked, it is now a fully fed motorcycle with a sportier stance. If you think it looks like the GT650R, you are right, because the fairing and the panels are the same, but the decals and the paint scheme is different. Otherwise, it is the same package. The vertically stacked headlamps with projector beams and an LED tail lamp sit at the two extremities. Sitting ahead of the big 17-litre tank is a boring looking instrument cluster, but it is practical and easy to read even on the go. There is also a set of clip-on handlebars for the sporty stance. It even offers adjustable rear sets to tailor the seating position for different riders. Overall, the GT250R looks imposing, and based on its looks alone, people wouldn't be able to guess that this is a 250cc motorcycle. Now, compared to modern day motorcycles, the GT250R does stick out a bit, and that's because the design is dated. It looks bulbous, heavy, while other motorcycles are trying to look light and slim. But the saving grace is the paint scheme. It just makes the bike look way more attractive than it really should. And under these panels, there's a V-twin 250cc motor. At the heart of the matter is the familiar 250cc V-twin air and oil-cooled engine. It now features fuel injection, which helps the motor develop 28 bhp of power and 2.2 kilograms of torque. While everything else nowadays uses 6-speed gearboxes, the Hyosung has a 5-speed unit. Press all the right buttons hard enough, and the GT250R will deliver a 0 to 100 km/h time of 9.97 seconds. And the 120 mark comes up in 15.4. Clearly, performance isn't poor, but it isn't the brightest in its class. The Comet R feels happiest on the highway, chewing kilometers at a consistently rapid pace. Ride it like a sports bike and a few rough edges creep in, light vibes and a lack of eagerness being the two main ones. What really lets the Comet R down is its lethargic bottom end. It feels very unresponsive under 6000 RPM. But I did find something to find cheer in. Now, I've really been pleasantly surprised by this motor in terms of vibration and harshness. It's just way better than its elder sibling, the GT650R. Sure, at higher revs you do get some vibes, but there's not enough to make you feel uncomfortable. And lower down in the rev range, power delivery is a bit dull, but once you get into the mid, it builds steadily right up to the red line. So the result is you can ride this motorcycle fast, and it is quick, but it won't set any segment benchmarks. But it's not far off the pace either. So it's a nice combination. You can clock kilometers without feeling tired, and the only downside is, I guess, it doesn't feel all that exciting when you ride fast. But now we're gonna see what happens when you throw a couple of corners at the Comet R. First, let's see what kind of hardware it's packing. The GT250R uses a pressed steel frame as opposed to the GT650R's twin-tube frame. Tires are changed too. Instead of Bridgestones, there are Shinkos. Despite having good grip from the Shinko rubber, the Comet R wasn't very exciting around corners. The suspension felt too soft for a sports bike, with the rear wallowing a fair bit, giving a vertical movement at higher speeds. The front could have done with less dive too. The 300mm double discs, though, provided solid stopping power. However, more communication at the brake lever would instill more confidence in the rider. Also, the Comet's 188 kilo curb weight is significantly higher than other 250cc motorcycles in the market today. And around corners, the Hyosung doesn't feel as light and willing as modern 250cc bikes. A restrained and measured right wrist is better suited for riding the Comet R. However, one place where the Comet R really feels at home is out on the highway. The motorcycle has great straight line stability, which means covering long distances quickly is a breeze, although a less aggressive seating position would have been nice for that. So the Comet R isn't as sporty as the look suggests. Around corners it feels steady and safe. It's not light and sharp like modern day competition. You can feel the weight of the motorcycle, the size of it keeps you from really pushing it hard around corners. Having said that, it's not scary to ride fast around corners. Just riding it a couple of notches down is the best way to go around it. And the tires though, the Shinko, surprisingly good amount of grip on offer from them. Of course, an upgrade would make the handling and cornering even better. Having said that, now it's time to look at the practical side of the Comet GT250R. The GT250R's soft suspension setup will cushion you from the potholes of city roads. However, the super sporty seating position will give your wrists and triceps a solid workout. When it comes to fuel efficiency, the GT250R returns 26.4 kilometers per litre in the city and a very healthy 33.3 kilometers per litre out on the highway. So the Comet R is the fourth bike to go on sale in India from Hyosung and Garware, but it looks like it's going to go right on top of the charts in terms of appeal, in terms of an overall well-rounded product to be offered by them. I mean, that engine offers you pretty good performance. It's got a nice exhaust note. It's got good straight line stability. It's safe and steady around corners. It's a bike that really rides well but doesn't excite you. So on the downside, it might not be all that fun if you're looking for thrills, but as a daily tool, something to use often, it's a nice bike. Build quality is strong. It could do with a bit more of a current day feel in terms of design. It does look dated, and overall it might not match up to its competitors, but this bike does have very good appeal. The thing is the pricing. It's expected to be priced between the Honda CBR 250R and Kawasaki's Ninja 250R at around about 2 lakh rupees, which could be a thorn in the Comet R's side.